Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another bonus edition of Stay Busy with Armon Sadler, where we have responsible discussions on the entertainment business and the entertainment culture. I am your host, head honcho, vegan chorizo poppy, founder of BNB, Armon Sadler, and we got another special WWE interview for you all. Now, this man, he will be defending his NXT championship against Ilja Dragunov at the upcoming NXT No Mercy pay-per-view. He's a two-time NXT North American champion, the final cruiserweight champion, the winner of the 2021 breakout tournament in NXT, none other than Mr. Can't Miss him, Carmelo Hayes. Now, obviously, we talked to Carmelo about his upcoming match with Ilja Dragunov, which is a rematch of a match that he won with the help or unintended help of Trick Williams. So we talk about how he feels going into that match, knowing that he's going to be out there completely by himself. We talk about the progression of Trick Williams and his star potential. We talk about his toughest opponents. We talk about his music interests. We talk about a lot of great things. Melo is a very confident guy, and he's done great things, and I see great things for him. So it was an honor to sit down and speak with him ahead of his big match. So we're going to take a quick break, and then when we get back, you will hear from none other than myself and the current NXT champion, Carmelo Hayes. Hope y'all enjoy the conversation. So we're here with Carmelo Hayes, the man himself, Mr. Can't Miss him, current NXT champion. Carmelo Hayes, how you feeling?
It's good. I'm feeling amazing. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. So let's get to it, man. You got a big title defense coming up, NXT No Mercy, a rematch against Ilja Dragunov. How you feeling going into that?
I'm feeling a lot more prepared than I think I did the first time around. Now I got to kind of feel what he was going to bring to the table. First time around, I think I was a little bit hesitant because I wasn't sure. I'd never been in the ring with Ilja. We've never touched. I didn't really know what it was going to feel like, to get in there with him. I tried to pull out some of my stuff in the beginning, and then we ended up getting into a fight. And I think that that's kind of now my game plan moving into this next match coming up, No Mercy, that, it's not going to be flipping and flying. It's going to be, more of a ground and pound type of drag out fight. And I'm okay with that. And that's why I feel more prepared, knowing that, I know what to bring to the table this time.
Absolutely. And obviously a big storyline with this match is Trick Williams will not be out there with you. And that's something that's been really important for you, is proving to yourself that you can beat Dragunov without help or without anything kind of happening that you didn't plan to happen. So does that concern you at all going into it and knowing you're going to be fully out there on your own?
I wouldn't say concern. I think that it's definitely something that I have to take into consideration that, maybe there's a third party out there that could potentially, I could utilize, like a Trick Williams, but I didn't plan to do it the first time around.
Right.
It just, so, and I had said on, NXT that, I took advantage, and that's what a champion does. I wasn't going to just sit and ask for a rematch and, oh, no, like something happened and Dragunov, he's a wild man. He went for he went for it and he paid for it. And then I went up the top and hit him with nothing but net. But yeah, so, I mean, as far as Trick not being there, I am up for the challenge, and I believed in myself the first time, and I believe in myself this time.
Absolutely. And obviously, Ilja is very, just as you said, very tough, very ground and pound, very lethal. Would you consider him the toughest opponent that you faced? I mean, you've got a pretty impressive list of people you faced off with: Braun Breaker, Baron Corbin, Noam Dar, Apollo Crews. You faced off with a lot of people with a lot of different styles. Would you say Dragunov is your toughest opponent thus far?
In a different way, yes. Because I mean, every opponent that I face, especially for this NXT championship, has been tough. There's not been one opponent that I've faced that was easy. I mean, all those names that you named, I mean, are all top, top tier competitors. But I mean, as far as Ilja Dragunov, I think he's just of a different breed. He's just a guy that, there's nobody like him right now. There's nobody to compare him to. And his style is just, like I said, you're not going to go in there and wrestle with him. You're not going to go in there and get your greatest hits off against him. You're going to go in there and you're going to fight for your life and hope you come out victorious.
For sure. Absolutely. You came into NXT, you were very, very confident. Obviously, right off the bat, you win the breakout tournament, you cash in, you win the NXT North American Championship. Now we're currently in the him era. And you had this quote during the Twitter spaces back in February 2022, which I loved. You said, a big misconception with being black and being confident is you're considered cocky or arrogant. God forbid I be confident in myself. That's their perception of how you look to them. I love that quote. It resonated with me. I tweeted it. You coming in, you were very confident. Now you're kind of seeing the fruits of all of your hard work. Like, if you could describe these last two some odd years in NXT in one word, how would you describe it?
In one word, wow, good question. Um, I don't know. I would say maybe persistent. I mean, there's many words that I could say. I mean, but I've just been unrelenting for my own success. It's been something where I was never going to be the guy, especially getting into WWE. I didn't want to sit back and wait for an opportunity. There's a story about how I went up to Shawn Michaels after my first match, and I told him I wanted to be a top guy. That's just the energy that I was bringing to the table, and thankfully I didn't let him down. But that's what it is when you believe in yourself and you believe in your talent, and you know what you have to offer. And I think more people should take that into consideration when they do anything. I mean, of course, you're gonna have your people who are gonna talk and they don't back it up, but you have to be fully confident that you can back it up. And I was, and I still am.
Absolutely. I remember I went to Monday Night Raw. I believe it was October 2022 when you first debuted on main event against Cedric Alexander. It was either that one or it might have been the February one. I think it was Brooklyn. I think it was the October one.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, in
Yeah.
Barclays.
So I got to see you face off against Cedric Alexander, and then recently you had a match on Monday Night Raw against Finn Bálor. How did it feel to get that look on the flagship show and face off against someone who's not only a legend within NXT but definitely one of the top acts on the main roster currently?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but I had tweeted out something real early on when I got to WWE about how I can't wait to wrestle Finn Balor. In full circle, wrestling him on Raw. I knew I was going to go against him at some point, but I didn't expect it to be my Raw debut. I didn't expect it to happen so fast. And to be honest with you, I remember seeing online that I was having a match on Raw before I even knew I was having a I'm kind of like, what are these people talking about? I got a big match tonight. But it was an amazing experience and one of those things where it just left me hungry for more. And I knew what I was going to bring to the table, and I knew that I just needed the eyes. It was a very positive reception for me from the people that matter. So, I knew I did what I had to do, and I'll be back there sometime soon, man.
I think all of us can say that we can definitely see that coming for you. You've spoken in previous interviews about the big match for you, shooting for Roman Reigns, a big match for you being Seth Rollins. Are there any other current main roster talents that you look at and you're like, I got to get in the ring one day and prove myself to them?
Yeah, AJ Styles, he's a big one that I see a lot of similarities in the two of us. Shoot, man. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, even like a Jey Uso. I mean, everybody. I plan on getting in the ring with everybody and prove myself. I don't think that there's anybody too out of reach for me. And maybe that's just my confidence speaking. I don't know, but some people be like, "Oh, Mello, you're tripping, man. Roman's gonna squash you," but it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I think that like you said, man, about going in and proving myself against these top talent. He might give me once, but better believe I'm spinning the block. I'm ready. I'm gonna get him back. So, but yeah, I mean, everyone up there. I mean, but AJ, I think is somebody next to Seth, next to Roman. I mean, Cody, it's my guy, but at the same time, he's when it's all said and done, it's gonna be nothing but net. And there's so many top guys up there that I'm ready to go against.
Yeah, I was so, it was so dope to hear that when Cody came back, he wanted to work with you. I mean, that was a huge stamp of approval. And I mean, I think it goes without saying, looking at your in-ring talent, that you're worthy of, stepping in the ring with Cody. But for you, like, what was that experience like working alongside him, helping him, kind of get back into ring shape? And what's something that you learned from him?
Yeah, it's funny. I said that in the interview for his documentary that he asked me to help him, but a lot of ways, I'm like, man, I'm learning more from him than, he doesn't need my help. Like he was fine, but just some of the things I learned from Cody, man, he still, reaches out and gives me critique things. It's more so like in ring things and certain little things that, I don't necessarily, I think is like more for me than to share. But, Cody just continuously is like, he looks out for younger talent and he always is saying positive things for me and putting me in good positions, name dropping me on the last PLE and things like that. Like just, he's just been really good to me. So, yeah, but I've learned a lot from Cody. I have.
Yes, that's a great dude. I got to talk about something else, man. And this might make things tense between us, but you and Ricochet, you've been going back and forth, and there's that constant why he bald thing. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm also kind of bald too. So what's your thing against bald people, Mello?
So you team Ricochet for sure.
Nah, I mean, I'm just a fan of both, but
Man, I was just playing. See, that's the thing. I was just being funny, and I think he gets a little, maybe it's a touchy subject for him. So I pulled back though, because he came at me, and I could have kept going. But I have hella respect for Ricochet. It's all out of love. You know what I mean? I had one of my favorite matches against Ricochet, and he's literally so freaking talented. He's one of the most talented in-ring performers I've ever seen. And he can do it all. So I mean, it's nothing personal, but if I have a shot to get him, I'm gonna get him.
Nah, it's always funny. It's always entertaining. So I love that. Now, with a lot of this crossover we're seeing between the main roster and with NXT and with Survivor Series coming up, a lot of people are speculating that this might be another year where NXT slides in and we're seeing triple threat matches and the triple threat 5-on-5-on-5 type thing. If you had to make up a roster, including yourself, of people to go up against a team from Raw and a team from SmackDown, who are you picking?
Ooh, like currently right now, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let me think. Who's on SmackDown? SmackDown. I'd probably say right now. I mean, how long is Cena going to be around? He's leaving at the end of the month, right? October or something.
Yeah, I think like right at the end of October. Yeah.
Damn. All right. I would have put Cena in there. All right. So super team. I mean, you got to put Roman. You got to put Solo. I'll throw in Grayson Waller. I'm thinking all-star team, right?
Yeah.
You said 4-on-4 or 5-on-5?
It's 5-on-5.
All right, AJ. I put in AJ, and then I'll put in. I'm trying to think on SmackDown. I put in Bobby Lashley. Raw. I'd put in Jay. I'd put in Cody. I'd put Finn. I'd put Seth. I'd put Dirty Dom. I'm just naming freaking top guys. But like I just think, if you're gonna do it, like do it big.
Mm-hmm. And then for you and people that you would team with from NXT, who would your team be?
My own team.
Yeah.
It would be Trick, Braun, Dragon Lee, and I'm trying to think of another like heavy hitter I could have here, or a wild card. Freaking Ilja Dragunov.
Yeah.
He'll keep close. I don't want him on the other team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Nah, I think that's a classic right there. We got to talk a little more Trick Mello gang, man. A lot of people in that one segment where you said, you kind of got to do your own thing and you want to see him shine. A lot of people were upset about that. And we've seen you two talking and interacting and him offering his help, but we've also seen him improve a lot in ring, kind of get his moments to shine. Like how does that feel for you, knowing that you two kind of came in together, been doing your thing together for a while, entertaining the people, and now he's really showing like how much star potential he has?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we always knew. And I think Trick and I want to even say as far back as a year ago, we were like, hey, man, how cool would it be if like you could do your thing and I do my thing. And then we both, we're both killing it. But, things happened and we kind of stuck together longer than anticipated. I think the biggest thing between us was that, we don't necessarily need each other to be successful because individually we're two stars. And we were told that from the beginning that, hey, like, look, you guys are not, you guys are both equally, you know what I mean? We're not putting y'all as a tag team. Like you guys are just, two stars and obviously, Trick, to get built up a little bit more and start working more on his own and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm extremely proud. And I know like, man, it's only just the beginning for that. I think that I proved myself in a lot of ways, and I think it's my time to kind of step to the right and then allow Trick to, start getting some accolades under his belt, and that whole sidekick thing, get that kind of stank off of him, and become a star.
A lot of people speculate that this could eventually lead to a match between you two for the title, perhaps. How would you feel if it ever came to that?
I think there's a lot that Trick would have to do respectfully to qualify to challenge for the NXT title, and I
Mm.
no, I didn't get the NXT title shot overnight. You know what I mean? So, and there's like not just anyone, and nothing against Trick. There's not a shot at him, but there's levels to what we do here, and I wouldn't think that somebody can just one moment just get a couple matches and then get an NXT championship match. There's levels to this, and at the moment, I don't think that that's just his destination for him. I don't think he wants that right now. I think he wants to kind of just go out and start, getting his own accolades, and us both be successful in NXT. Not trying to take one from the other, as opposed to, we can both be, he can win the North American Championship. I can win the NXT Championship. And then when his time is right, he wins the NXT Championship. I move on to better things, whatever it is. So two legends can't coexist. I know people want to pit it. I know it's a dream thing to pit people against each other, but I think him and I are stronger as a unit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, factual. I want to talk about you like outside the ring, like when you're not in the gym, when you're not running the ropes. Like, what is Carmelo Hayes doing for fun?
Man, we recovering, man. There's so much, like, you'd be surprised how much they run me. And I'm not to sound ungrateful. I love it. You know what I mean? It's a blessing. I get to do a lot of these things I get to do. So when I have time, I just chill with my girl, just, kick it, keep it, maybe go to like SeaWorld or something. Just went to SeaWorld last week. Something pops up, do something real low key stuff. Because I mean, when you're here in NXT, life is WWE. We're training 5 days a week. I mean, we have TV on Tuesdays. We have live events Saturday, Sunday. I mean Friday, Saturday. I mean, we really truly get one day off. So the one day we have off is just like, just like to kick it, go to church or whatever. It's just like real cool day. And then back to work. I mean, that's why I think my success has spoken for itself, just because I've been so consistent with just, staying foot on the pedal, foot on the gas, just keep going and going and going. I think my time to chill and relax and do fun things is when I feel like I finally succeeded at the end of the road.
I feel that. In terms of music this year, we got to ask, like, well, what are some of your favorite albums that come out in 2023?
Oh shit, I gotta think 2023. What's come out? I might have to look at my iTunes, bro. I don't know what I'm trying. I mean, I'm pretty tapped in on pretty much what's out right now. What's coming out like that, and looking forward to all the other stuff coming out. But I'm trying to think of what I've been really listening to. I don't know if 2023 really brought me any heat yet. Like, I don't know if there's really been popped off in 2023. Maybe I'm overthinking. I know after we get off this, I'm gonna think of like three things about. I should have said that, but tapped in.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. There's been a lot of conversations about this year not feeling like it's been one of the better years, and I don't know. I
Yeah,
feel like I've found some products that I like, but
sure.
yeah, it's been an interesting year to say the least. So I feel that. Obviously, there's a long lineage of incredible Black wrestlers in the WWE. I mean, you can go back to The Rock, you can go to Nation Domination, you can go to Crime Time. Like, there's so many. What's been like the best interaction that you've had in your time with a Black wrestler?
Mm, okay, good question. I feel like every Black wrestler that I've met has just shown so much love, and so been so, what I mean, like Booker, even Big E and things like that. Like, just from top to bottom, it's just kind of like an unspoken camaraderie. In a lot of ways, of just like, hey, this isn't, and might be controversial, but this isn't, we're not forerunners in this sport. I mean, we're not the freaking chosen ones in this sport, but, keep doing what you're doing. So, I mean, it's been always positive, and you can tell that, guys like Booker, for example, he wants the best for just, all talent, but Black talent, as well. So Booker T has been a huge, advocate for helping me with my progress and everything like that. But yeah, all positive experiences.
Yeah, I remember seeing footage of you in the ring training with MVP. Yeah, great dude. And then we've also seen on screen you interacting with Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. Like, what's that all about? But people are speculating that, you know, Bobby might be looking to add to this new group that he's forming, and that they've identified you and Trick as potential candidates for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, that'd be cool. But you know, I'm right now, like, I'm so focused on what I got going on here in NXT. So I mean, it's gonna take a lot more than just showing up and dapping me up, and you know, than to get me over there. You know, I'm not thirsty for any sort of, like, you know what I mean, like, membership. I'm not searching. You know what I mean? I'm doing my thing. If they want, you know, if they want me, they can holler at me and we can talk business. But like, I'm doing what I'm doing because in NXT, you know, holding this championship, holding the brand on my back, that's my main focus right now. What Bobby's doing, the Street Profits are doing, is really not my main focus at all. But you know, respect to them because they're my brothers for real. But you know, I gotta worry about Carmelo Hayes right now.
Absolutely. And you've been focused, you've been holding it down as NXT champion. I remember you talking about with Wes Lee, who a very intense rivalry there, like very entertaining to watch, talking about the pressures that come with it and him not necessarily understanding. Like, what's been the biggest adjustment for you holding the title, being the guy on NXT?
Yeah, it's just living up to that expectation of you know, you're the big headline name that's gonna, you know, if make or break PLE. If you're, you know what I mean, if it doesn't sell out, you know, who they blaming? They blaming me. You know, if the match doesn't deliver to people's expectations, you know, they're blaming me as champion. My championship reign's a flop, you know, Melo's a flop, you know, it's a lot of pressures. And I saw it with Braun. You know, I saw a lot of people, you know, very critical of Braun. Best way I can put it, it puts a microscope on everything that you do. And if it's not great to freaking amazing, it's not good enough. And not even just from the fans, but from, you know, your peers, from people that, you know, you work for. Like, there's a lot of setting an example in so many different ways besides just going out in the ring and killing it. You know what I mean? Doing things like this, showing up, you know, to train, and just being, you know, that sort of leader, even if it's unspoken. There's a lot of pressures that come with this, and just like I said, the constant microscope on you, it really keeps you sharp, and I love it. I thrive under this type of pressure, and I wouldn't trade it for anything else. I'll take this over taking being ignored any day.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to commend you for making it look easy, man.
Thank you, bro.
Absolutely. Well, that's all I got. Really, really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me, Melo. Looking forward to the match with Dragunov. I feel like it's easily a match of the night contender. So.
Got one.
Absolutely, man. Congrats on all your success. You've been amazing to watch. It's been amazing to see the growth, and I can't wait to see what's coming next for you.
Armon, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
You too.
Baby girl, how you feeling? I've been out in the world, staying busy, taking time, getting right if you miss me. I've been out in the world, staying busy.
Mondays 9 a.m. Party with the gang. Every week, tell a friend. Busy over everything. Busy boys, gotta call now. Ain't you heard? Got the vibes. We put you on. Got the slides. I'm the SARS. Running dog. No, we hold it down.
Baby girl, how you feeling? I've been out in the world, staying busy, taking time, getting right if you miss me. I've been out in the world, staying busy.